All right. All right, folks. We're back. I am fighting the plague, but of course I wasn't going to miss this for you. Built different, like Jordan in the fever game. And don't get me started. That was a myth, Sonder, you little Braun Maxi. So
A
today we're
myth?
going to be talking about some really,
It's
yeah,
not.
that's what he tried to tell me. He tried to break it. It's not a myth. It's facts. It's real life. Watch the show.
Hungover.
Uh,
Hungover. Hungover.
hung, Hey, I wish I was hungover versus being sick. Anywho, it's been a while, right? When was the last time I've been on here? I think I missed last week, didn't I? Or I was traveling. I haven't been on here for a minute.
Like
Feels
two
good to
weeks
be
for
back with the
you,
boys.
maybe a
2
week.
weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks for me too. Yeah. Saunders been holding the fort
Yeah, it
down.
feels holding the. Oh yeah, because we missed one, and then it was the Chuck T stuff, which was awesome. We'll start. Oh, I guess we already did a little bit of Rules Engine. Now I thought about it. So we'll
Yeah.
talk a tiny bit about Rules Engine, but we can also riff on whatever you guys want. As always, the questions are open. What have you guys been seeing out there? You excited? You nervous? You think e-commerce is in a good place? Well, we can just riff a little bit before we get into the meat and potatoes. How are you feeling, Sandra? You're touching clients the most. Or that sounds a little off brand, but
Suspect.
you're
Just their hearts. Just
a
Just
their
little
their
hearts.
heart.
sus, a little sus. Um, what are you seeing out there? You seen anything interesting? Anything that you need to tell the people? Post-purchase survey stuff, possibly that
Hmm.
Logan might get into later. Um, what kind of little off-the-cuff tips do you
Yeah.
have for our wonderful audience?
I mean, I would say definitely continue to see a pretty big increase in view through conversion revenue from Facebook, and that is definitely being
Interesting.
backed up by a post-purchase survey. So, I mean,
Okay.
I'm going to keep harping on post-purchase every second I get, just because it is becoming more important. It feels so far, it feels like my prediction of doom and gloom for e-commerce is wrong. So I just keep seeing more and more businesses that are increasing revenue right now. And we just saw, I
Yeah.
think they said consumer spending increased by like 1.8% in
Let's
February, or
go.
maybe it was January compared to December, which is like the first time that's happened in a very, very long time. So,
Yep.
so that's good. I mean, this is a prediction I would be more than happy to be wrong on. So, yeah, feels like, yeah, revenues are good. Facebook is still king. I'm seeing a lot of people actually pulling back from Performance Max and going back to shopping, um,
I,
which is interesting. So,
I was just going to touch on that. I've seen a lot of we're still getting our data in order, so I can give you guys this better data. Hopefully, the next couple weeks. We ended up moving it to this big fancy architecture so we could do it really fast, and sometimes that's a challenge because the schemas. And anyways, don't have to get in the technical weeds, but I have heard that through the grapevine as well because the P Max is crushing, but then you start to dig in. And if you start to really ratchet down and exclude brand, it really strips away a lot of its magic, which is ideally not it. You know what I mean? I start dogging on P Max and the guy leaves. Unbelievable. Just dropping,
Whoops.
just throwing idea grenades and then leaving. I have
it's still
seen
here.
that
Still
one
here.
of the one of the biggest things that has not necessarily shocked me, but uh, TikTok is looking like it's not really the path for a lot of people anymore. And that's something that because it was just so gangbusters last year, especially the beginning of last year, to see that now it is really starting to become an albatross around people's paid media necks where just the juice ain't worth the squeeze. The life cycle of the ads just aren't as long. They die not only quicker, but like you could be spending X amount of dollars and then like the next day, like there's just an absolute obliteration of performance, which is a big challenge, especially as a media buyer when you really want to figure out where you can scale and where you can scale, reliably and predictably. So I think that's one of my biggest takeaways right now is that TikTok is turning out to not be as interesting as a buy. Twitter, ironically, is we're actually in some really interesting talks with them, possibly doing some really cool stuff with them. So stay tuned there. But that's something that is semi interesting to me. I have yet to see a lot of people do a bunch of work on it. I know Sean Frank over at the Ridge is doing some decent work. But I think that could be a really interesting ad buy. And then just kind of the OG stuff is kind of coming back again, like the listicles, having your own kind of ancillary like content site that is essentially like pumping up your products. Like, however you feel about that, it is what it is. But seeing some success with some clients there. But what about you, LB? Where's your head at?
No, you hit on some interesting things. I'm going to piggyback off them a little bit because I had the chance to.
Oh, what's
The
up,
reason I
Matt?
might have missed a couple of weeks ago was the reason we missed it, I think, is because I was in Columbus. I know Rob was traveling, but I was in Columbus meeting with some agency partners. And then I recently got to talk to a few of those folks that this week about brands they were bringing on and some really big brands that I was excited to see. And two of them, they didn't blow my mind the amount of revenue they're doing. So like talking about the e-commerce space, it seems like things are going well.
Yeah.
And they claim they're still growing really fast. But going back to these strategies for a second, I don't know how we can unlock this in Triple Whale yet, but both of them have amazing organic and affiliate. And what I mean by affiliate is like they're using kind of influencer strategies on blogs, like mom blogs, like moms who own a blog, moms who do TikTok, moms who do YouTube Shorts, YouTube, and it's like growing their business like gangbusters. And I remember back in the days of Chubby's when I was there, I had nothing to do with this, by the way. I wasn't on the marketing team to this extent. They had like an amazing content team. Now they definitely ran Facebook ads, but I think there was a lot of arbitrage back then. But they were also pumping out like just like funny videos and viral content. I still think, and maybe somebody who if they listen to this later can tell me if they figured out how to really hone in on the lift that brought them. But I wonder if TikTok is more of a play for paying influencers to create content around your products, or you doing it as an organic play and trying to measure the like search traffic that may be coming in TikTok around your space. That's what I'm interested in trying to figure out if we could measure for brands as a marketing strategy.
Yeah, I think you're on the head there. Somebody else, one of my near and dear, actually, I think Sandra's a big fan as well. He has some really awesome ink. Mad Rabbit crushes content strategy. And that's one for people that don't know, Mad Rabbit is tattoo care, essentially. So like they have moisturizers, numbing creams, SPF or sunscreen. So your ink doesn't get faded out by the sun, et cetera, et cetera. They just have a really amazing brand that's built off the back of incredible content. Like their Insta feed is it's fantastic. It's really good. And then, but yeah, I echo those sentiments as well, Logan. I think that, I mean, here at Triple, content, community, education are the three big pillars around our marketing department. We're not D2C, but I think it can be really applicable. The other thing that I'm starting to see a lot of people really get hip to, and again, it's really hard. It's not necessarily quote unquote expensive. It's just challenging to convince leadership because there is a warming up effect. But being able to start your own community, whether that be in real life events, whether that be actual some sort of Discord group, Facebook group, we're actually going to be moving or starting our new community in an app called Circle to enable some more things, just because Narwhal Nation's amazing, but Slack just has so many headwinds in terms of really having a robust community. And we've had some content discovery issues where we have a lot of great content, but curating that content and surfacing it to the right people at the right time is also something that's been a challenge. So I think communities is something that is also starting to become a little bit of hip to, but there's definitely, you need to have the right, there's a few things. It needs to be sincere. It needs to be value generative for the clients. So like it can't be seen as a profit center. And I think that's sometimes where a lot of people go wrong, is where they start a community to sell more product. And that's like the 0 point of a community. The point of a community is to help your users, and it has nothing to do with generating actual sales or anything like that. If anything, it's about generating a deeper emotional connection and helping them out for free. So I think that's something that could be really interesting. I also see the drop model coming back, which I'm not. Sandra actually is a little bit more drop model maxi than I am. I'm not a huge drop model guy, but I've seen a lot of people playing around with the drop model more and more.
I like
and so for people
model.
that don't know what I'm talking about, essentially, you're a drop model guy too. I don't know. I feel like it. So tell me why. Or first off, explain.
I've seen it work in practice,
and then tell me why.
Oh, say again. Sorry, I didn't hear that. I was talking over you.
It's okay. For people that don't know, tell people what, like when we say the drop model, what we mean by that, and then tell me why you like it. Because Sandra's also on the train, so maybe I'm the dummy that can't see the forest for the trees. Oh, yeah, so you're not maxi. I thought you were a big maxi, not a big drop model maxi. Okay, we'll go around the horn then.
Go Logan.
Well, yeah, I guess like the biggest.
LB.
I like explaining things in examples, but I guess Supreme is probably your biggest example of the drop model, where The goods,
Yeah.
there's two different versions in my opinion, but there's one version where your goods are literally not available on the site because they're always sold out. But then there's limited times where capsules, products, collections will come out. There's a mad rush. They all sell out. And then there's normally like a third party market for resale. But Supreme, I guess, is pretty well known for that. I'm not on the big bandwagon of not having stock at normal times, but I'm really into dropping limited collections and products and constantly coming out with like new things if the economics work out for you. Because I saw it work in 2 different apparel brands that I was at, so that's why I like it. Oh, Grand Funk, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, LB don't play. He's the man.
Funny.
He's fish and deadhead to the gills, man. See what I did there? See what I did there? Even though with the plague, I'm still pulling it out. So actually, Last Crumb, who won our best customer experience, they came in the office to get their Whaley. I think they do it really, really well. I just feel like there's a certain aspect of like, ultimately you're capped out, like your economics are capped out, and so you're generating all this demand, but you can only capture so much of it. But I do take your point. I think it can be really interesting when done well. I don't know. Maybe
I think it's also like a
too
brand
harsh on
play,
it.
in my opinion, like brand marketing. Like,
Yes,
this keeps your brand
That's
top
fair.
of mind and buzzy and fun. And it's like, oh man,
That's
what are they
fair.
going to do next? Even if you're not a part of it, it kind of gets you talking.
Let me, before you jump in, Sandra, let me give you a thought experiment then, Logan. Do you know anybody that does the drop model well that isn't luxury? Because Supreme is essentially like quote unquote luxury, and they only collab with like the craziest things. So like they will collab with Adidas or something like that, and then that the Supreme version of whatever it was is always like way more expensive. Do you know anybody that isn't luxury that does do a drop model? Because I would argue Last Crumb is also a luxury product where it's there's no utility that you're going to get out of 12 cookies for $160. Like yeah, again, not overpriced, just expensive. But I don't know any other
I mean,
drop
only
models
because
that
it's
are
top
super
of mind.
successful that aren't luxury.
Yeah, I mean, I just only because it's top of mind, and I worked there and I was obsessed with it. But Chubby's back in the day, they were kind of on a drop model only because one, they wanted to like inverse their cash flow model, right? They could pre-sell all their shorts, and there was such demand, they weren't really sure how much demand there was. So they would basically pre-sell and then drop, sell out, pre-sell, drop, sell out, and then I mean that model worked really well for them at $50 shorts. It wasn't like luxury.
So that's fair. Is a pre-sale though the same as a drop model? Because a
I don't know. I
pre-sale,
mean,
you're just
depends on the
basically
definition.
because that for me is that's that bifurcation of a drop model. Like if you don't get in by X, like you don't get access to it. Whereas the pre-sale is like you get access to all the inventory that's in there. So maybe I'm in
But
the
it wasn't
weeds and
totally
playing
open-ended. Like,
semantics
hey,
here,
we're going to
but
leave this pre-sale open for
okay.
6 months. It was like, listen, we have 14-day window, like because we have to go buy the inventory to get it to you in 90 days. So they couldn't, it was like a small window. That's why I counted as a drop. It was like there's a finite limited of time that you can order this.
Yeah.
You order it and then you're going to get it later, and you're going to be the first to get it.
Okay.
That's kind of how I defined it. But
interesting. What do you got for me, Sandy?
I'm actually surprised you're not a maxi being a sneakerhead. I mean, that's like the entire model.
Model
of
sneakers. Yeah.
No,
is
you know,
drop.
most of the money is made on the back end because the drop comes at like $1.15, or it's impossible to get the sneakers, and so then it's the resale market is really where a lot of the profit is, because if you can get it at cost, it's pretty challenging, but it's almost impossible to get at cost. So then you got to get some sort of dealer or somebody on the inside that has access to these sneakers. But again, I would
Don't
consider
you still put in for
especially
the raffles though?
Yeah, but I've never gotten to got him. I think it's never happens. It just never happens. So it's just like I get got with the Baboon to the Moon does drops. Robert, we do. I don't have it here. We did a really cool collab with them with a belt bag. Crumble doesn't do drops. They print money though, don't they? They do drops. No, Crumble you can go buy now.
Well, yeah, but every month they drop a new cookie. That's kind of like the big thing to get people to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mischief. Yeah, that's a really good point, Matt. All right, maybe I'm off. Maybe you guys.
I mean, think about what Huckberry
right.
does too. Like Huckberry keeps it pretty fun by doing all these collaborative drops that are limited edition. I mean,
so let me clarify. I do not like. So I was probably looking through the model, and Last Crumb just did a membership model, which is pretty awesome as well. Um, if your only distribution channel is a drop model, I
Got
have
it.
some issue with it. But I
Got
do
it.
like what you guys are saying, like the exclusive drops around X, Y, or Z. Like Nike just, I mean, those are almost like collabs, right? Like Nike just did their Air Force One, Tiffany's collab, which is trash, but is what it is.
The
You know,
shoes look cool.
you don't hit
They
them
look
all.
cool.
I'm just not an Air Force One guy. Why do you go black? Black? Come on. It's Tiffany's.
Well,
You
it's
got to go
Tiffany's.
Tiffany's blue or something. Come on.
Oh yeah,
Come on.
that's
The
true.
blue box. The blue box. Come on.
They
It's
did do the
I
blue
thought they missed
box,
a little bit
right?
on that. Yeah, they did do the box is dope. They did a previous collab with Nike as well with the Diamond Supply Company. And I actually have a pair of them. They're pretty slick and they have a few different colors there. But all right, I feel like yeah. What Robert's saying, I think you guys are right. All right, I'm swayed. I'm back on the drop model. If it's not your only, to be fair, there is some, to your point, Logan, some really big business efficiencies that you can grab from this, where you have predictable demand. You know how much you need to satiate, things of that nature. So yeah, you guys are right. I'll blame it on
Robert,
the plague for me
I
today.
think it does support well. I think the drop model excels or accelerates when you do have a strong community. Like that's why Supreme does so
Yep.
well, because like their community is insane. So they can rely on a drop model because they have that like exclusivity. So I think it really does tie back, you know, to the podcast we just did, and you were bringing
I know
up around
what
community
you
marketing.
gotta. What'd you call it? Community marketing. We got it. That what a term. I love that. I mean, so the other thing too is you're a big crypto maxi. NFT are literally built off the back of drops and community, right? I mean, definitely there
Yeah.
were some rug pulls in there, but like at the same time, like if you were in that Discord or whatever and you're waiting for that drop, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, maybe I'm wrong about that. You know, strong opinions weakly held. There we go. Pre-sale drops don't have caps. That's a really good distinguish. And did Chubby had to have caps though, right? Or they would just order more.
Yeah, well, back in that day, they were they were manufacturing in the United States, so there was just a cap on like the amount of fabric they could actually get their hands on, because the
Tracking.
fabric would come from China, but they would do all the manufacturing here. So, yeah, I mean, but what he or she is saying is that you could do a drop on a pre-sale, and therefore you're not. You had brought up a point that you feel like the drop model limits your cap on being able to sell and get revenue.
Capacity to internalize that demand. Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
But I think you're also talking about people who they don't have normal stock. They just do the drop and drop and drop. And they're really never going
That
to
was my
understand or
intention.
realize the amount they could have made if that product was available. But I still think it's a brand play, in my opinion. That's brand marketing. I think they're trying to make it exclusive. They don't want everybody to have it. They don't really give a shit if they could have sold 10 million, because it'll pay dividends down the road. It's like a longevity game, in my opinion.
Okay, I'm in on that.
I think
like that
Supreme
a
would have
lot.
peaked and come down really hard, like a North Face. North Face is now coming back up a little bit. Like I saw everybody in New York wearing North Face. Everybody.
Yeah.
Black North Face
Yeah.
puffer was
at
the
at my university, it was basically like the female or the woman outfit, where you'd have the tights, the UGG boots, and the North Face jacket with the
Oh,
the
man.
little cloth one. It was very
Yeah.
right. That was the uniform. That was the
That was
uniform. It was
Purdue.
uncanny.
That was Purdue to
Yeah.
a T.
Oh, Purdue. Yeah, exactly. Indiana, Purdue. Let's go.
Purdue.
How about that basketball though? We took them out. Let's go on their home court. Come on, Hoosiers. Let's go. Yeah, no, that's a really good thing. What do you guys? So I had a little hot take about. Also, we talked about this in ad spend, where Sonder pinched hit for Ash. He had to do some wedding stuff this week. What's your guys' take on levers to move LTV? And do you think that it is possible to push the ceiling up of LTV? Let's start with you, Logan, and we'll go to you, Sonder. And also, everybody, we don't need to lecture. So if you guys want to drop questions, we're more than happy to answer any questions about life, about marketing, about T-Dub, about the product. We all love your questions. This is my favorite day of the week. So pop it in there. Even though Rich Silva's not here, I'm going to text him. Unbelievable, Rich didn't make it. But Logan, give me your thoughts on LTV. What are the levers to pull it? Are there levers that don't make sense? Hit me up.
Yeah. Well, and by LTV, we're not defining a time at this point. We're just saying, like, let's say,
lifetime. Yeah, literal lifetime. Not a year, not 2 years. basically. How much money am I going to get? Or call it 3 years. Call it 3 years, just to give you some sort of time window. But how much money can you get out of somebody in 3 years? Do you think that's set from the first purchase, or do you think there's things that you can do to raise that LTV? Because there's a lot of people that ask about this, and I have a lukewarm take, if you will, on it.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear why you may feel that you can't affect it. If you think that maybe like they're bought in at a certain amount from day one. But like, here's an example. Like, I think one lever that maybe is not talked about enough is the communication style, frequency, and who the customer is. So a good example of this is my mom. Loves shopping. Okay. Now she knows my wife loves this shoe brand. I don't even know what it's called. Or maybe it's Rothy's. Maybe that's who it is. Okay. My mom is the customer for my wife, right?
Yep.
But she found out about this brand through my wife. So she bought her a pair of shoes. But now every time there's a new color or something, she's buying it for my wife. And now my mom has bought some for herself and become a big fan of it. And I guarantee she'll probably gift them to other people. So I don't know if Rothy's truly knows that she's buying for my wife or herself or whatever, but if you could figure that out,
And
that's
how-
a lever in my opinion.
So I'll give that one to you. And how would you do that? PPS.
Well, yeah, I mean, zero party data would help the best, like preferences in your Klaviyo
Right.
account.
You can ask somebody like, "Oh, are you buying this for yourself, or are you buying this as a gift, et cetera, in the post-purchase survey?" Because we can do custom questions now, right?
Yeah. And I think there's another little element that I'd love to be able to capture for people that we haven't, I don't know if anybody's tapping into this yet, but if you offer the gift note option at checkout, I don't know if anyone is taking the fact that that's filled out and passing the data back to the person to say, this is a gift giver. Does that make sense? You would never
That
fill the
does
gift
make
note out
sense.
if you're not giving it as a gift.
But I would not fill the gift note out and still give a gift is only challenge. But I
Yeah,
do get
no,
your point.
gonna
You're getting
miss
more
people who
data than
don't fill
none.
it out.
But
Yeah. But
I take your point there. No, I do agree with you in that gifting is definitely one vector to, I mean, because essentially you are increasing your LTV, but it's almost like a proxy of increasing your TAM in a weird way, right? Like your total addressable market now is expanded because that person isn't actually consuming the good, but they are purchasing it. So I will absolutely give you the gifting vector. That's one of my few caveats. What else you got for me? Because you're on a roll.
well, the other that's a little, I don't know if I can truly give you a quantitative measure for this, but I think that good customer service can be a lever to gaining trust and people being like, this is the brand for me. Or like, I'm not going to go to the competitor because these guys treated me well. I don't know how you quantitatively do that right out of my head, but I've just specifically had instances with brands where I'm like, okay, that's so awesome. They did that. And I'll give you a good example. I ordered Buck Mason t-shirts, right? And I ordered 3 of them and I loved them. But a week later, they sent me the exact same order. And I was like, that's weird. And I called them because I was like, I'm in the space, right? I'm like, hey, listen, guys, I'm sorry, but you sent me the same order twice. I didn't pay for it twice. And they're like, oh, it's chill. Like, just hold on to them, use them, spread the word. And I was like, that's great. Like, I'm probably going to tell my buddies about that. And I'm going to like keep buying from them because that was just an awesome thing to do and not make me deal with going to UPS. So I don't know how you measure that, but little things like that, I think can affect LTV of a customer through experience. But those are like,
I don't hate it.
I
don't hate it. I do agree with you that customer service is the one brand touch point that can either make an evangelist or like a villain for life, where it's like, I will never fuck with this brand ever again because they made me do this, or like, oh, they sent me some extra stuff and they're like, it's chill. You guys are awesome. Like, don't worry about it. It's on us. So I do agree with you there. I don't know how much that, like, again, did you buy more from Buck Mason than you were originally because they did that? It's more of like a perk than an incentive to me, which again is not a bad thing, but it doesn't move my LTV needle as much. I do agree that I have a higher proclivity to transact with that brand because I like them. Like, I have a belief that you have to know, like, and trust somebody to transact with them, but I don't know if it changed your actual LTV.
No, I guess
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, that only happened like a month or two ago, so I haven't ordered again. But my point would be is that we're all constantly getting ads from probably
Yep.
competitive products. Like a zillion t-shirt companies serve me stuff, right? And the
Yep.
next time I need a t-shirt, I'm likely not going to go to the competitor. I'm just like, why would I? I have shirts that I like. They were awesome to me.
Yep.
I'm just going to go reorder from them, not from somebody else.
Oh my gosh, I love it. But I have to give Sandra the floor now. The pyramid of thought is
Yeah,
going
bring
on
it
over there.
on.
What do you got, big fella? Yeah, what do you got, big fella? There's something cooking.
Hey, I'm just listening to Logan. I'm wondering if that's like an intentional LTV hack that they do, you know? That would be I mean, I'm sure it's just a warehouse mistake, but
Oh,
I'd
if they
like
like have predicted that I was if they predicted that I could be like a lifetime customer and they decided to send me. Oh, you know what? Actually, can I throw in one little fun hack that nobody does anymore? That was a fun Chubbies thing.
Yes.
Okay.
This is
So back
what
in
the whole point of this thing is.
All right. No one does this anymore that I'm aware of, but if you're doing it, let me know in the comments. So back in the day, their fun LTV hack was that they threw in secret prizes or gifts with every order. You didn't know it was coming, but what happened is that the community started to realize that on your second order, you got like a t-shirt, and on your it wasn't a t-shirt. It actually went from sticker pack to koozie to maybe like a fanny pack, and then you got a exclusive tank top was your fourth order.
Love that.
And so the entire community started buzzing online about, oh man, has anybody got a third order yet? What comes with a third order? And people were like, oh, I got a fanny pack in my third order. And it's like, oh shit, what's the fourth order? Has anybody ordered 4 of these?
Love
And like
that.
they just skyrocketed their LTV to like $200 within. I mean, it was just fast.
Love that.
People wanted the swag because you couldn't get these things otherwise. And I don't see people doing the free gift thing as like a secret deal anymore.
I love that. And so that falls into and I'm taking all the airwaves. Sorry, Sandra. You want to jump in or you want me to just get this thought out?
No, go.
Okay. This falls into what I call surprise and delight, because if they tell you that you got that thing and it's on the way, it's 0% impactful. You're like, oh, that's cool. They threw something in for me. But the fact that you're like, did they mean to do this? They did this for me. This is so cool. And while you were rifling through those items, what I was thinking through, went to school for economics, is margin. Like those are super high margin products, which are basically nothing. A koozie's like 10 cents or something like that. Stickers are literally like rounding errors. Like, and so, but they mean something, and like, it's awesome. And the exclusivity of it and to drive that velocity. So, all right, I'll give you that: surprise and delight and gifting. I'll give you those 2 levers for LTV. I think those are very, very fair points. Robert, what's your business? You guys should definitely do it. What are your thoughts also, Logan, on actually, I'll go to you, Sandra, because you've been pushed out of this so far. What are your thoughts on mystery boxes?
Me or Sandra? Sandra, right?
Sandra, and then I want to hear from you. Yeah. Sandy first.
I think mystery boxes are good as long as customers realize they're probably getting, you know, what's the word? Low volume products.
Yeah. Shit that people weren't interested in.
Yeah. So that's like literally usually what every mystery box is, right? So as long as they're like, hey, I know I ordered a mystery box from the hundreds, right? And I got like, I don't know, 6 different items. You know, I'd say probably only 2 of them would be things I'd actually buy. But I'm like, all right, that's like a win to me, right? So I think as long as there's like one quality item that's like pretty close to like MSRP, and then you're getting like 4 or 5 free items, then it like works out well. So I like mystery boxes as long as like it's pretty clear that you're getting stuff that isn't moving.
Okay, I'm into it. We're I know we kind of talked about on ROAS or on ad spend, excuse me, but any more pontificating on the LTV? Let's go, Robert. Let me fix my gut over here. Hold on, I'm about to get my Z. Oh, that's a beautiful website. Hold on. A pre-alcohol. This is crazy cool.
I've heard of these things. You're supposed to take it before you drink, right? It helps with the hangover.
Well, is that what this does, Robert? This site's gorgeous, by the way. Do you know, we should bring back maybe we'll do it once a month or something. We should bring back people love the audit. We should bring Sean back on. You guys had fun doing that too, right? I had a lot of fun. All right, we'll
Yeah.
make that a staple of the calendar. Maybe we'll do it the last Whale Webby of the month. We'll always do a CRO chat.
Let's tell Kevin
this
we
is
need to
beautiful,
run
Robert.
we need to run an event series called Audits in Odd Places. And we should do like a community
Oh
event
my
where he does like
God, live, and we could
Yeah.
do it live on stage, and we have.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
But
hold
in
on, let me
odd
make this
places.
note.
So
That
audits
is
in odd
amazing.
places.
Oh my God, audits in odd places. That's so funny. Oh my God, I love this. I love this. Amazing. Okay, Sandra, give me any more pontification on LTV, and then we can move on to the next subject. Also, guys, no questions, nothing. You just want us to riff about fish? I mean, Logan could go on for days. We can get it done if you want.
Yeah, you just let me know. But
I
Sandra, LTV.
I definitely feel a lot of passion about this conversation right now. I feel like so many brands have just gone like all in on Facebook ads, Klaviyo nurture flows, campaigns. Like, I feel like everything has gone so transactional in D2C. And honestly, to me, a lot of it is like
Very well
so
put.
uninspiring. And yeah, I think community is like so important right now. Brand is so important. I don't know, everyone's just like so clean cut and like I guess trying to have like a perfect image. So definitely feels like it's ripe for disruption. I'm definitely feeling some inspiration there around a project or two that I'm working on with that.
Let's
But
go. Bring me in. Put me in, coach.
but community to me is like, yeah, to me that's one of the greatest opportunities. I think the hard thing is there really isn't like a catch-all platform. If you're like an older demographic type customer, then Facebook groups work. If you have a younger one, then you have like Discord. But then if you're kind of like in the middle, you don't really have like too many options, you know? And so I think there's, you know, probably a ripe like B2B idea there for communities. But yeah, I think figuring out how you can really engage with your community, I think just will unlock so much. And I don't think it has to actually be like a living place like that. I was listening to like the founder of Rucksacks, right? And they just do meetups in 500 meetups a year throughout various cities. And, you know, for them, that's like community. It's real life. People love it. And they just go rucking, you know? So I think you can make community out, you know, very in person as well. It doesn't just have to be online. So I guess, yeah, there's some.
Yeah, can I piggyback off that with a hot take or a controversial take? Maybe that is a hot take.
Oh, of course. Neil, we might have to bring you on to if you do you have a decent audio? I want to hear more about this. This is awesome. This is really cool. Sorry, go ahead, Logan. Finish your thought. But Neil has some pretty big brain stuff here with some gateway products moving into. Okay, cool. I'm gonna finish your thought and I'm gonna bring you on stage, Neil, in 1 second. Go ahead, Logan.
Cool.
Your hot take. My hot take is that I love Logan hot takes. You're like the nicest guy ever. So whenever I get a chance to hear riled up Logan, like fish sucks or something like that, it's like instant. Let's go. The steam out of the ears.
All right. So Sandra just said something really good, which sparked my, because I was sitting here thinking like, oh, I hate community. Not for B2B. I think my hot take is that manufactured online communities for DTC don't work.
I would totally agree with that.
That's my hot take.
Agree.
I don't think it's a hot take at all. I think, again, going back to the 3 things that community need to have, the first thing, it needs to be sincere. Like you can't be bullshitting people. Like nobody wants to be around people that are, to Sandra's point, they use his nomenclature. Like you need to break away from the transactional in a community. It needs to be total, just free flowing. Like, hey, how can I help you? What do you need help with? Et cetera, et cetera. It can't be any sort of like, has to be sincere, has to be value generative for the members. Like it can't be seen as a profit center. Like it has to be like, we are only here to help you out. Like Narwhal Nation, we make no money off of Narwhal Nation. We don't actually pay anybody because our Narwhal Nation is so awesome, but our expert owned channels, those people are there just to help other people. Like that's the whole vibe of it. And so I think it needs to be sincere and you need to have that. And to Sandra's point, you need to build the church where people will go. You can't make, missionaries in an empty church kind of thing. So I don't think that's that hot of a take, Logan. I think it's actually spot on.
Wait,
this is going to be a first. But Neil,
before we bring Neil in, I want Logan, given those caveats where it is genuine value focused, I think your Chubby's example is like a perfect example of like
Yep.
where you're just throwing value into a box, and that is like then it created like an organic community with customers.
Yeah, that's the
Given,
non-manufactured part that I'm describing. I just
Okay,
don't think
so
you
you're
can
good
create
with
this
that.
digital space. Like the digital spaces fall apart at scale. The bigger they get, the worse they are, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
and although I agree with everything Rob is saying, all I'm saying is I have trouble thinking of any brands where the customers are going to a digital space and really deriving much value at all. I'm
Portland
just
Leather
having trouble
Goods,
with it.
Avi. Those are the two big ones in the space that like Portland Leather Goods is absolutely doing numbers. They won the best community at the Whaleys. Avi's 50, 60K in women. There's a few
What are
others.
they talking
I
about?
totally
I
take
know
your
the
point.
Portland Leather Goods is like
Uh,
doing customization, which is kind of neat.
yeah,
But what are the Avi
it's
community talking about?
It's essentially people just shooting the shit. A bunch of women in there getting in there and just helping each other out, talking about random stuff. They have so
Hmm.
this is also something that can be really interesting where when you essentially put your brand evangelists in there to kind of like lube the wheels to get the things going, because that's the again that is the challenge of a community, right? Like if you invite everybody to a party but there's no alcohol, there's no music, there's no kind of like connection and stuff like that, nobody's going to go to that party. It sucks. And so I totally agree that it's it's really hard to do community. Like Kevin is an absolute genius in the way he does it. Two, it takes a lot of resources to build a community. And three, it's very challenging to sell that to leadership because it's a long-term win. It's like you're not going to start a community tomorrow, and then
It's not
it's
Facebook
like
ads where
challenging
you
to
put
sell that.
$1 in and get
It's
$3
not
back.
instant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's and the kind of last point is it's challenging to show that lift, right? Like it's really hard to be like, hey, the reason somebody bought was because of community, or the reason somebody joined Triple Whale was because they wanted access to Narwhal Nation, et cetera, et cetera. Like it's very dotted line at best. But I do take your point that there are definitely pitfalls, and it is almost think of it like a blog in a way. Like it's same as content, right? Like it can compound, and you can't buy it. So that's the only other thing too, is like there's no way to really buy a community. Like you can't just be like, oh, here, I have all this money, where you can buy more ads. You can do these things where it's like it's really hard to buy content. Like you can kind of like maybe buy a website or things of that nature. But you get my point. Like it's really hard to break into that with that. But no, good riffs though. Good riffs. All right. Neil is doing some really cool shit with the Lunar Pouch hoodie. So I think it's the first time, but let's see. Invite to participate. Let's see how this works. All right, Neil, and for people that are following along, it's lunarpooch.com. What a great name. Okay, did that work, Neil? I think I just threw you a participation. Oh, he's getting ready. He's on deck. Yeah, so let's go. Our first oh shit, let's go. Neil Huey. Lunarpouch.com. Amazing.
Yeah.
That's your first one and you already made it on stage. Oh geez.
First month
amazing.
on Triple Whale, first month launching the brand, and here we are on stage.
Wow.
As you do.
Congrats, man.
So take me through your LTV play, because these are what I would call like gateway products. We use the product journeys to identify these, but kind of give people some color behind this, because I love that thinking.
So this is my second e-commerce brand, and one of the biggest things starting out is like getting your first 100 sales, which I just crossed that in the last couple of weeks. And I was thinking, I was like, all right, I want to get a lot of different products and test free offers, like buy hoodie, get the free offer. And then basically whatever doesn't make it in the winning offer, you can then put into LTV flows, right? So if someone bought a hoodie and a fanny pack, well, they're going to need a water bottle to go in the fanny pack, right? Kind of like that logic, right? So it's going to be kind of expanding with time. Right now, I'm just kind of testing the upfront offers. And so far the free bag with hoodies killing it.
I love that. I love that. And what's the impetus? Basically you're taking the dog walking at night, and then that way you doesn't get hit by something, or because these are cool. These are kind of flexy. If you made these for men, I'd probably buy them. These are cool.
For humans.
Yeah. So I mean,
for humans.
So Lunar Pooch, as the name implies, like at night, right? So the reflective dog hoodie is like dog safety at night. I mean, they're also just super cool looking with like flash. They're waterproof, right? So there's a couple angles I'm playing on with it. And then with that, like just sourced a bunch of products, but I think once I get some capital coming in, then it'll be like, designing more nighttime products, right? Like little LED things for leashes and more night colors and stuff.
So
Yeah,
I have 2 questions about the product strategy and the acquisition strategy. So for the folks who are listening, one of the things that we were talking about earlier was giving away products that have large or high margins, so that it's kind of a no-brainer for you financially. But are you maybe baking in the cost of the? I think you were saying you gave away a bag with the hoodie. Are you baking in the cost of that bag giveaway into your acquisition cost with the hope that you're going to make it back with your second purchase? Or is it mainly like, this is so cheap for me that it's really not a problem?
I have my pricing strategy set up so that it's profitable with the bag.
Okay, cool. All right. And then you've developed your CAC from paid media to be baked in there as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like the level 2 on it is then when I was finding success with just kind of a canned ad, then I went back and redesigned the ad on the front end to literally say, call out free bag, right? Like go to the page through a video, get your hoodie and a free bag. And actually yesterday, that ad did like a 7x ROAS.
Awesome.
Let's go. Video game
It
numbers.
was like, I think 120 in spend and like 800 in sales.
I love it. Keep
It's
scaling.
amazing.
Yeah, man.
Let's go to the moon. That's awesome, Neil. Very cool. I'm gonna have to grab one of these. This is awesome, dude. Thank you for sharing that. The other thing that amazing, first time on the Whale webinar, and you get to come up on stage. Incredible.
Totally.
Just breaking records. Here you are.
Yeah, a little plug here too. Something I'm going to be testing out is have you heard of this company Prodport?
No, please say more.
So it's for the big gap with Shopify product pages is you can't like A/B test and dynamically split sections, right? Like headlines or titles. This company allows you to do that. It's kind of like a headless front end on the product page. And so I have a collar, a bag, and a water bottle. And so I'm going to create 3 different ads. And then basically whichever ad is clicked on is going to then change the text and create different offers all with a single product page without using landing pages.
Wow. Cool.
Ooh.
So I'm pretty excited to get in. They're setting that up for me right now and gonna test that out in the next month.
Yeah, will you stay in touch with us and let us know how it goes?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was Opie is wanting to know, what is it called? Can you drop some sauce into the chat for us?
Let's see.
I just downloaded the link if you need it.
How's the implementation? Brutal, decent?
They're like a Series A company. I think they have like 20 customers. So their implementation.
Dang, a Series A with 20 customers. That must be a high LTV or somebody's frothy. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, similar pricing model to Triple Whale actually, but they're very hands-on. Like got on a discovery, like talked about all the needs, but it's not a self setup. Like they actually have to get in and like set some stuff up.
Play some code with it. Yeah, there's IntelliGems. Drew Marconi is a friend of mine, and they do price testing, but it's kind of similar where there's a lot of the implementation is not like you just install a Shopify app. Like there's some things that need to happen before that. Neil, thanks so much, man, for coming on. And I'll tell you what, ping me Raba at Triple Whale with your address and size, and let's get you some triple swag.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Cool.
Nice.
Amazing. And go buy a lunar pouch if you have a puppy. These things look awesome. Awesome stuff. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks,
brother.
That's really interesting. So I want to pivot a little bit into. I can't believe no questions today. Is it just a no question Wednesday or something like that?
I don't think we've gotten into the product enough.
What's going on?
I don't think we've gotten into the product.
What do you want to product stuff? What are we gonna do? Oh, we did rules last week though. I forgot about that. I forgot.
I thought you wanted to show off the new builder, like the no code builder.
That's
custom
right.
metrics.
I'm conflating. Yes, I'm conflating rules and. Oh my gosh, I'm so. What
we like touched on custom metrics
a
a few weeks ago, but I think it'd be good to touch on it again. And there's like the new comment section, so I think letting people know they can annotate, comment. We've had some new product drops. You mean drops?
Well, let me fire up my triples.
Drop model.
See that? You got that, kids? Write that down. Fill some time for me while I blur some stuff. All
I don't know all the trivia like you do.
No, give us some Phish stuff. They're still touring, right? You went to that whale stuff is awesome. It's
still
so
touring.
cool. That has to
Yeah.
be one of the cooler. That has to be one of the cooler like concert experiences. Like that was. Is it that?
I mean,
cool
I didn't
in
go to
person,
it, but
or
yeah, it
does
would have been
just-
sweet.
Oh, I thought you just went to a concert.
I did. I went to the New Year's show. That was their
Where did you
makeup
go?
New Year's show in April. So in April, if anybody's cares to watch it on YouTube, it's actually pretty wild. But they flew massive whale drones through Madison Square Garden, like blow up drones.
Oh, those were drones. I
They're
thought that
drones.
was all visual effects.
No, they were really
that's
flying
not
through the
that
air.
cool. Oh, that's not that. They look awesome, but I thought it was actual visual effects. So there was actually like a blimp, essentially, like a big drone.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm.
I thought the physical thing
that
was
sounds
cooler
to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have been like wild if like this whale's flying over my head. I don't know. I thought it was kind of wild.
Rob is like, I don't want to see a dinosaur in real life. I just want to watch Jurassic Park. You know?
No.
Yeah, he wants the hologram on stage.
Exactly.
He doesn't really want to see the real thing.
Which is ironic because they didn't do any visual effects in Jurassic Park, and it still plays. I think it's one of Spielberg's best. But I take
Yeah,
the
and
time.
Robert, I
right,
did see the
let's
Dead
jump-
and Co tease. That'd be interesting. I don't even know how big Barton Hall is. I don't know what that concert would look like, and considering the ticket prices for these bigger shows right now, but that would be cool.
That is cool. Okay, cool. Let's get into some custom metrics. So we have the custom metric builder accessible up here. Create a custom metric, or if you have your custom metrics section enabled, look how beautiful is this dashboard though. Paid media, we got my Klaviyo action. We have GA, Facebook ads. Let's get down here, my pins. Maybe that's another thing we could do is dashboard setup. See how everybody's setting up their dashboard. I've always wondered what people have.
Yeah, I mean, we're discussing templates
these-
and views, so they could be shared. So
Oh, that would be awesome. Oh, that would be awesome. We need some. I would love to have my Logan Brown template. Just boop, click it in. Bomb. Got my Sonder
There you
template.
go.
Boop, kick it in. So these are just a few of the metrics that I actually really liked to create. So AMER is essentially NC ROAS, but the percentage representation of that. And so if you guys want to grab that, basically it's just the percent of ad spend spent on new customers. This is the formula. So pretty easy peasy, just your blended ad spend divided by your new customer revenue. I really like that a lot, especially if you like to see this in percentage form, because we also give it to you in the NC ROAS. It's just in an absolute versus a percentage. Big fan of this one that I've been playing around with. So basically, I need a better name for it. Sonder's a good namer, so maybe I'll touch on him. But NC, new customer break-even point. So what's your new customer AOV divided by your new customer CPA? So again, those are super easy peasy. You'll take your new customer revenue divided by your new customer orders. So that'll be your new customer AOV divided by your new customer CPA. I think that's a pretty interesting one that I really like a lot. A lot of this stuff is, understanding new customer touch points, because really at the end of the day, that's what you want your paid ads to drive. This is something I thought was pretty fun. Average revenue per Klaviyo subscriber. So pretty interesting in terms of just your total revenue from Klaviyo divided by your net new subscribers. You could also do just your actual subscribers, but I like to take out the people that unsubscribe, especially as you get bigger lists. You'll have those absolute numbers will actually be big, but not big in percentage form. So even though 1,000 people left, it's still not the end of the world because your list is so massive. This is something that actually was a Logan brainchild. And see, this is something cool where you can add these little comments. I'll let Logan kind of talk about that. Holy crap, we're already up against it. I didn't realize that. I've just been riffing this whole time. Contribution margin per order. So this is a bit of a complex one where you're going to have some parentheses in there. But ultimately, you're taking your AOV minus blended ad spend plus your COGS plus your shipping. You need to average that across your orders. And then boom, you're going to see your contribution margin per order. Some people get a little salty about including shipping in like the unit economics and gross kind of calculations. Normally, when your accountant will take your shipping, they're going to internalize it at the OpEx level, so the operational level. However, Logan has kind of changed my tune on this. So I do like to include it for marketing purposes and understanding those efficiencies. But if your accountant yells at you, they're going to include it in the operational motion. Normally, you don't include that in a gross calculation, but I like to just because, especially too at the lower scales, you usually have some variance in your shipping. So I like that one. This is a Chuck T shout out. So he has something called profit scaling metric, right? Or margin. What is it? I always forget.
Yep. Profit scaling margin.
Profit margin. Oops. There we go. For those that don't know, Charlie's a character, but he's actually a really, really smart media buyer.
We talked
so what he's doing here,
about the PSM last week with Charlie. So this is
you did
exactly
amazing.
How to create
So
it.
this is old news.
No,
Yep.
but show how to create it because
So you take your LTV, and then again you're going to have some parenthetical. Oh yeah. So this is the formula. What do you want me? What do you like? Literal drag and drop, or you want me to recreate it, or what? Say more when you say that.
Sorry, I'm on a bit of delay. I think my internet's not great. So yeah, just keep going through it.
Yeah. It's okay. You're doing the wartime reporter. Oh no, maybe it was me.
Oh,
Maybe it was him.
it's over. Yeah, someone's on delay. Well, listen, maybe we should just play some music, hang out for a bit, talk shop.
Fish.
Oh my gosh, I hate that I've become the fish guy now.
Why?
I don't know. I like it actually. It's great. Hopefully Rob is coming back. But yeah, anyway, so
I'll put the calculation in the chat.
Yeah, the profit scaling metric is basically like LTV contribution margin. You're taking LTV, which I think we have. No, we don't have LTV 60 and 90 in the summary page. Maybe something we should add. But in the date range you've selected, we're showing you the LTV of the customers who ordered in that date range. Then you're subtracting variable expenses from that. It's kind of like operating off a contribution margin per order, but you're utilizing LTV a bit there in case you're break even or negative on the first order.
Sorry, what I missed, guys. So there's 2 questions from Neil. Did we address these or no yet?
Nope,
Oh, he just popped them in.
Okay, amazing. All right, let's do this.
I'll throw them in the question.
Oh, you got it.
Are you throwing them in the question?
Amazing. If you want to do it, that'd be great.
Okay.
Oh yeah, toss any dashboard questions. Okay, can you add custom integer without actually being a metric? Example, just COGS. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Say more, Neil. Custom. Do you guys get it? What he's saying? Without actually being a metric. You can add actual offsets if that's what you're asking. So let me share my screen again. You can offset it by integers. Where's my screen? Dun, 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 dun. So this little thing right here, you can add anything. So if you want to offset something by a number or something like that, you would just have 100 or what have you, 1,000, something like that. Is that what you mean?
I would assume so.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Like if you just want to see the COGS for the day on my dashboard, how do I do that? COGS will just be a function of your date range. And so you have, let me see, there is a COGS, you find it here, an actual COGS metric that you can pull into your dashboard. Where am I?
It's in the expenses section. I don't know if you can command F.
Yeah, I have it. There we go. Yeah, so you can see your COGS and it'll show you all the COGS for that date range. Yep.
And the product analytics page, by the way, I think you said you've only been on for a week. So go to the product analytics page. It's pretty awesome.
So good.
Okay,
so
I get their insights, right?
Yep, under insights.
We should do that. We should do that next time. We should go over the product analytics.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Depending on how big your store is, Rob, it may take a second. Oh, okay, not too long.
Oh, and I don't even have all the cool stuff here. You can have
There's
all
like
these
40
crazy
metrics
things here.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, there's a pretty awesome stuff. Great questions. Let's see. Can we increase the percent? What is this? Percent decimal place. Oh, that's interesting. So let's throw this. That's a good Logan question. I don't believe we can move that yet, but that's a really good point because, yeah, something like conversion rate or something like that, you're going to want more resolution in that metric. We'll put that on the roadmap. That's a really, really good suggestion. I like that a lot. Okay, cool. What else we got? More dashboard questions, Neil. Hit us whatever you need. Opie, yeah, I actually love Charlie. So when I was running paid, let me throw this in there. I would use this a lot. One of the things that I would say a couple pitfalls are dynamic creative proper, like when you're doing 10, 10, 10, don't do 10 of everything. Try and have some more controls. And then the other thing that I would say is you can have multiple champions in that dynamic creative, but it's really the spend gets allocated to kind of like who's going to win first. And so if you find a winner, just pull that out. If you think there's other winners in that dynamic creative test, pull the winner out of that dynamic creative test. And then you can see, because there might be multiple winners in there. It's just the way dynamic creative is built. It's not built for testing. It's built for performance. And so once it finds a winner, it will give all that money to that winner. And so you can get more out of that dynamic creative testing. But yeah, I actually really enjoy it. Do you guys have any thoughts on it? You hate it? You don't like it? You love it?
I don't know the
That
strategy.
was some of my pushback with him last
Oh,
week
yeah.
was the creative testing. So I think what's hard for me is I think he caters a lot more to, I would say, growth marketers who are doing a lot or business owners who are doing a lot. And so that his system works super well for that. I feel
When
like
you say a lot, what does that mean? Like
they're just doing
revenue,
a lot of
spend?
other things. Sorry, no, they have a lot of other things on their plate. And so his is just like set up one
Got it.
campaign, let Facebook take the wheel, kind of thing. I think the only thing I struggle with, honestly, is creative testing, because I still like to have an ABO campaign with creative testing happening, even outside of like dynamic creative. And then moving that into the winner. So he gave good arguments back that I think make me want to test it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I think that's a fair pushback. I think for me, it was really easy to just spin up this one campaign and then test my assets with the same headline or something like that. And then you can narrow it down. I would not recommend testing like more than 2 variables though, because then you start to get into some confounding factors where you don't know why things are winning versus like, this is the top image. Okay, cool. I know these headlines. And so you can also juice it sometimes where it's like, I know this is a winning headline. I know this is a winning copy. I know this is a winning CTA. Let's put that and then test 5 images or 5 videos or an image and a video, et cetera, et cetera. I take your point though. I feel like that's fair pushback. Amaze. Let's see. Where should I go to sharp up my skills? I'm interpreting data. Oh yeah, absolutely, Neil. So Logan, I'm dropping it in here. Logan and Sonder have some incredible videos on the Pixel, on the dashboard, on all the things. Where is it? Triple Whale U. And we have a bunch of other awesomeness going. If you're not in Narwhal Nation as well, I highly recommend you join that. You can join it right from the app. It's down in the integrations. I should have answered this question. This is the question, guys. So Triple Whale University is going to be one of the best places to go for this. We also have some stuff on YouTube, but Triple Whale University is going to be the most comprehensive. And then we have new videos coming out more and more and more. But yeah, that's going to be your greatest start. And then Narwhal Nation is also a fantastic place to join, where you can ask all sorts of questions in different channels that there's a lot of really, really smart people in there. Okay, cool. Let's do Logan's. Amazing. Of course, you guys would answer questions when we're 4 minutes over. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. Powerful Sonder. That's something that this man is one of the, I mean, to be fair, both these people are one of the smartest, or 2 of the smartest people I've ever worked with, but definitely grab some time with Sonder. He is kid gots range. Is there any filtering of customers in the builder? We can do some tagging stuff, or actually I should just punt this to you, Logan, because you'll have a more eloquent answer than I.
Well, yeah, there's segmenting of Shopify data on the summary page by things like order tag and product tag, I believe. Don't think customer tag is available right now. But you may have other things that aren't Shopify data included in the custom metric And I'm having a hard time off the top of my head realizing whether or not that would get adjusted by the filter. I think it would. So I don't think it's, yeah.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
I
Like,
also think you could probably create a custom metric off tags now, or no, not yet. You can, right? Because that's how I have recharge. Recharge's metrics are
you
built
can
off of
create a
tags.
custom metric saying like, show me, show
All the
me
revenue for
from
X
the
tag
with
or Y
orders from
tag.
this tag,
Yeah.
right? But I think what
Right.
he's trying to say is we should likely give the customer the ability to filter the summary page by CDP segments,
Yeah.
and that way everything
Oh,
changes.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
That's very interesting. Who said that?
it's Alan
Schaefer. Rabba at triplel.com. You get some swag. That's a fantastic.
But Alan, I guess
Like
one thing
that.
that would be that you could probably accomplish right away is go into the CDP and build yourself some segments that you're interested in, and then you can go into the cohorts page and you can filter all that data by that segment, which will help you out with LTV, acquisition cost, total revenue generated, those kind of things.
Love it. What else? I know we're 6 minutes over. Oh geez, sorry guys. Okay, last call for questions. Either toss them in the chat or toss them in the question, and then we'll wrap up. What else we got? We got some really cool stuff going on. We now have a Tuesday Ocean Hours with Sonder, Alejandro, and Raquel. You guys can jump right in there. What's the best way to get on that? Do we have a sign up page? We need to build probably a lander, huh? Just triplewhale.com/ocean hours, and people can just sign up for it there.
I mean,
so we need to get you guys a
here on
lander.
Livestorm, they should have access to it as well. But yeah, let's look into that.
Okay, so we'll get you guys a lander. Look out for triplewhale.com/ocean hours. So a little riff off of office hours, but it's just an hour of open time where they're discussing the best growth strategies they're seeing, retention strategies, things of that nature, product questions. So you guys can really get into the nitty gritty. What else we got? We got a bunch of South by events coming up. So if you guys are in Austin, give me a shout. We have actually, if you got anybody here in Austin right now, we have a happy hour going on tonight. If you want to come meet some of the marketing team. What else we got? We have a South by event on the 9th, Thursday. So ping me if you guys want to invite. It's going to be pretty cool. And then I'm hosting a panel or moderating a panel at South by on the 13th. And then on the 22nd, we are coming to Miami for a Triple Whale Roadshow. So if you're in Narwhal Nation, be on the lookout for that, for the invites. We also should be sending out an email for those invites. Okay, it's 8 minutes over. I'm sorry for holding you guys for so long. Oh, Neil, hell yeah, let's do this. Come to Miami. Here, let me just send you guys.
Are you linking that up with like the F1 race or anything? Can we go to the F1 race? Is that cool?
Trying to. Rigo wants me to sponsor an F1 car. Dude, F1's real money. We do some fun things, and we tried to get a suite there. Like the poor people like shouldn't even be their suites were $60K. Like that was the lowest like.
Can we just go stand in the grass and put a tent up, or what?
F1's real money, dude, and it's crazy because the rich folk just helicopter there. They don't because I don't know if you guys know where it is in Austin, but it's kind of in BFE, like outside by the airport. There's nothing out there, but like there's it's 3 hours to leave the F1 because it's massive, and there's only basically a 2-lane highway that then branches into like a bigger highway, but it's essentially at this really interesting junction. But yeah, it's amazing. Amazing, Neil. Well, we'll see you. I'm getting everybody that I know that has a dog one of the lunar pouches. We will do. There is previously live links. I think we put them on. If not, we'll get all the whale webbies up. And then you guys are awesome. I'm 10 minutes over, but I was also probably like 10 minutes late, so very on brand for me. Sonder, sign off. What you got for me?
Build that community and get that post-purchase survey live. Genuine community, though. I don't want Logan stabbing me in my sleep.
Genuine.
And throw a drop model in. There. Whale Wrangler, LB.
If you find any cool, not hacks, but if there's any cool unlocks you have around LTV community, why don't you drop them in our community, Narwhal Nation?
Boom. You see how he ties that together? This kid's a pro. This kid's an absolute pro.
Wow.
How's the kiddo doing? You better? You make it through with the kiddo?
he's
little
great.
sick kid. You did good.
Yeah, and
Amazing.
I'm going on a bachelor
Amazing.
party this weekend. I'm playing at this like sweet golf
Uh-oh.
course on Friday. I don't even know how to play golf,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's gonna be great.
Oh, I'm horrible at golf, but that was like my only first experience with it. Was me and a bunch of buddies just going out there and doing debaucherous things. It's not
My buddies
it's
are
not the worst
good,
thing.
but it'll be
Oh,
fun.
you're gonna have a horrible time then. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's playing with good people. You're just gonna end up drinking, smoking cigars, doing the whole thing. Matt, I'm on my toes. I don't want to sign off without knowing what you're typing. It's like and then you go, amazing.
There
What do
we
we
go.
got? What a great name, Matt Lehman-Viog. That's amazing. To piggyback off the community, we launched our brand as a community for public accounts of 2919 without. Look at that. You see this kid.
Hey, I know that
Matt's
Instagram page.
you know what, Matt? Let's go. Let's go.
That's good.
Let's
The Big
go.
Four accountant.
Yeah.
BYU. That's amazing.
BYU is like a top 5 accounting
Matt.
school. So all my nerdy
wow.
friends that went to
Really?
accounting, yeah, I'll follow this page. and
Amazing.
stuff.
That's amazing. Matt, hit me up with your size and address. I'm going to send you some swag. It's a fantastic way to sign off. Logan, you're done with the sign off? That was it? Just your golfing thing and people wanting to drop into the community? It was sufficient. I liked it. That's good. Yeah. To be fair, Logan had like 17 million product meetings before this. If he felt a little bit off his toes, I thought he did well, but just
thought I was
just
off
to
my
build in
game
that little
today?
buffer. No, I thought you were great. I was just trying to build in the buffer because
Don't make
sometimes
excuses for me.
you come with the heat. I mean, Sonder was really being uplifted by the office and the hipster look. I couldn't even concentrate on him. This guy's so sexy. But hey, it is what it is. It happens. All right, folks, that's all we got. Make sure we have 2 amazing podcasts, Ad Spend and You're Not Your ROAS. Actually, Sonder will be on next week's Ad Spend. We talk with Alex P. Or actually, Alex Grayfeld, excuse me. She is now married. One of the best marketers in the business. Great newsletter called No Best Practices. We also have a newsletter called Whale Mail. If you want to sign up, triplewhale.com/whale mail. Then obviously, if you want to get more involved with Triple Whale, we are at triplewhale.com. But if you're here, you're already hip. You already know what's up. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for being 12 minutes over. And then we will do a CRO audit in the 3rd one. So I will talk to Sean. Maybe we'll give away some audits. It'll be a whole vibe. But Sonder, Logan, feels good to have the boys back. Feels good. I felt great. It's good. A little contention, a little heat, a little love. I mean, come on. That's all you need. So go out there. Hope you guys, the ROAS is with you all. And community marketing. I'm really, really on this tip, Sonder. I think it's a very interesting vibe. So go make sure it's sincere. Go print all that money. And then thank you so much. And don't forget, if you are going to hit some St. Patty's Day stuff, I already forgot his name. But the gentleman Robert dropped in a Zbiotics. So go get some pre-alcohol party. All right, folks, that's it. That's another Whale Web in the books. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Cool.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Later.